Good afternoon. Never do anything without a cup of tea, folks. Hope I'm in focus. One or two people have been saying about the webbing on my Napoleonics, how neat it is. So I thought I would make a little video and show you how I go about doing my webbing. First consideration, I guess, is what we stand the miniature on. Here goes my clock, right on time. That's a salt container. I like that. There's plenty to hold in your hand to manipulate if you want to. And you'll also see in a minute another reason why I like these very much. These are getting on a bit now. I'm going to have to replace these before long. The tops are getting a bit fragile. But also the other consideration is the brush. In this case, I don't know if you can see that or not, whether that's going to focus or not. There you go. Winsor Newton Series 7 000 Finest Sable. You can see the nice tip on it. Perfect brush for the job. If you're new to this hobby, don't buy synthetic brushes. Synthetic brushes, I would go as far as to say synthetic or pathetic, because they'll lose their point almost immediately. In fact, I've had some brushes, synthetic brushes, that have lost their point immediately. A couple of strokes and it's done that, crooked over, and that's unacceptable. You're not going to do good painting with a crooked over brush. That's no good at all. So that's another consideration, the brush. And don't overload the brush with paint when you put the paint on the brush. Don't overload it. So we'll have a crack at this infantry figure, and as you can see with him, a very nice figure from hat. The detail stands out beautifully. So we don't have a problem seeing where the webbing is and struggling to find what we want to paint. You can see it all beautifully. The only real quibble I have with these figures from hat is the rifles are a bit bendy, and some of them are a bit they're gone a bit wayward. I keep trying to straighten them, but they seem to have a mind of their own, which is a shame, because it's, to my mind, spoilt the ship for Habeth Tar, which is a shame. And here's one of our conversions, because we was a couple of figures short. So he started life as a Dutch infantryman, but we've converted him to British, and he's fine. You'll notice he's got putties on, but they're fine. We give him one. I actually gave one a pair of brown trousers. Come on, come on. You can do it. There you go. There you go. So yeah, see the rifle's a little bit of a bend in the rifle. Constant bugbear with these polythene plastic figures. The rifles are a bit wayward. But anyway, we'll crack on with this guy, and we'll try and to get the webbing done. And we'll start off with the main belts, the belts going across the chest. We'll start off with them, and the colour I will be using is Vallejo Ivory. I will then go, I won't do the highlights on the webbing in this video, but the colours I will be using for the highlights are off-white and a very fine highlight of pure white. But we'll start off with the ivory, which is already on my palette actually. Now the secret is, or one of the big secrets is with this, is not to have your hands free floating, because you're going to make a pig's ear of it. However, you can see my edge of my desk here. Both my arms are halfway down. Well, you can see the marks there, look. They're resting on the edge of the desk. So my arms are not going to go anywhere. They're not going to go up and down or from side to side or all over the place. They're rock steady. My pinky finger on my right hand, my brush hand, goes on the side of this tub. Now you see why I like the tub so much. See if I can, yeah, there you go. Goes on the side of the tub. So I am now, there you can see my pinky finger there now on the tub. I'm now rock steady. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to stay stable, which gives me a great chance of painting this webbing in a neat and tidy fashion. The other thing obviously I'm using, as you can see, is this magnifier, which makes my life a hell of a lot easier. I've even got the old glasses on. So anyway, we'll start off painting the cross belts. That's our first task. Don't overload the brush with paint, as I say. And another thing is, basically, don't rush. Don't rush, because it's not a race. There's no rush. You know, these get done when they get done. And if you make a mistake, don't worry about it. You know, if you go over the edge of a belt or something and nick the jacket, it's not a crime. Swivel the tub round now. So now I've swiveled the tub round and the tub's gone up here. I rest my pinky finger on the palm of my hand now. Palm of my left hand. And it's still beautifully steady. So I can do a nice neat job, which is what we're after. I'm actually going to do it that way. All the time the pinky finger of my right hand is either on the tub or it's on the palm of my left hand to steady it. It's always a bit tricky with these figures to get the bit of the strap that goes under the arm. And I'll catch that little bit in a minute. It's amazing actually. It's amazing actually how many straps are on these figures. If your brush tends to get a bit choked up, then just wash it out and start again. Excuse me if I don't talk to you sometimes. I'm concentrating on what I'm actually doing. But I think these all look very nice when they're done. Here's another strap up there. You can't believe how many straps are on these things. Amazing. Very good detailing by hand on these figures, I gotta say. Hopefully I'm still in focus here. This is the second attempt I have of making this film. Because the first one, there's a lot of shots that were, for some reason, totally out of focus. I'm not over keen on this camera, to tell you the truth. I may even in the ensuing days look for a new one. Because the autofocus on this is pretty crap, to say the least, ladies and gentlemen. Right, so there's another strap that goes down this way. Which we have to add in. Yeah, I tell you what, folks, if you're one of these people that likes painting webbing, these figures are for you, for sure. Because you are not short of webbing on these things, I tell you. Plenty of webbing to do here. This is going to take me a fair few hours, I can assure you of that. That's not too bad. I think we'll settle for that for now. Right, just a little bit down to the cartridge pouch. If I can get it done. Yeah, it's really tricky getting under these under the arms, because what you don't want to do is get a lot of white on the arm, not if you can help it. That's not too bad. We'll settle for that for a minute. There you go. Now we got some straps going across the chest from left to right, so we'll add them in, and also some very thin straps going underneath the arms, so we'll add them in. Keep washing your brush out. You don't want the paint to dry on your brush, so keep washing your brush out. Another slug of tea. Yeah, this is going to take me to do all 20, whatever, 24, 25. It's going to take me a considerable time. But that's no problem. Got plenty of that. Well, hopefully I have. But I am toying with the idea tonight of going out with the shortwave radio and setting up somewhere, because conditions have been very favorable, I have to say. I've been getting some very good results. Everywhere from Japan to the Philippines to Korea to Middle East. I mean, but you know, it's nice to get away from the house and to get away from the noise, because the world is flooded with junk gadgets from China and Far East, and they all emit waves of one kind and another, and you put on a shortwave radio and you find out all about it, just what junk is going through the air, you know, radiating through the air. That's beside all the other stuff like digital phones and emergency services and airplane communications and goodness knows what. No wonder people have mental health issues, isn't it, and head problems. God. If you assigned all of these waves a different colour and you could see it, all around you'd be like all colours of the fucking rainbow, I'm sure. All going through your body, all going through your head. Jesus. And that doesn't include all the forever chemicals you're breathing in, and all the other shit that's in the air. And see, I've just gone a little bit of red on the jacket now to cover that white. But that's no problem, we can do that. We can do it. There you go. There you go. So in a minute I'll block that, I'll let that white dry that I've smudged on his jacket, and I'll just cover that over with a bit of base red, which is flat red, so we'll just cover that over. But now there's braiding on the front of his tunic, so we'll add that in, and we'll also add this white on the like shoulder pads on his shoulders, so we'll add them in as well. We'll whack them in. Keep washing your brush out, don't want the paint to dry on your brush. I would probably do this job a lot quicker, and also a lot easier if I wasn't being interfered with. The police have just gone by my window. I'm not surprised with the amount of weirdos we got living around here. Like I say, if your paintbrush gets a little bit clogged up and doesn't really want to do what you want it to do, then just wash it out and start again. Keep the thing, you know, free flowing, free moving. Don't overload it. That's a big thing. Don't overload your brush. See, Karen smudged the red, folks. The white. She's gonna have to get the red out again. My father was here now, he'd be amazed. He's been dead 40 years. There we go. Oh, that's nice. That's better than the one I did on the other video, actually. Hopefully we're in focus here. Yeah, we're still in focus. There's nothing worse there's absolutely nothing worse than making a video, playing it back and finding out it's all out of focus. Yeah, this is going to look nice. These are going to look nice. This battalion's going to look nice. Tell you one thing that does annoy me a bit, but you can't really help it, and that's the paint tends to dry a little bit on the palette, even this wet palette, because of the lights you're using. Yeah, that is fantastic. That's a good job you've done, Karen. God, I'm so talented, folks. No, I'm just kidding you. See, once again, see your fingers on the side of the tub, arms on the table, can't go anywhere, rock solid. That, I guess, is one of the biggest secrets to how I do this job and how I get it so neat. It's just it does require a steady hand. I'd be interested to know how the rest of you paint your miniatures, what techniques you've got. A lot of strange people walking about outside, folks. Strange people Karen has never seen before. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my plan for later anyway, is to get in some shortwave. Yeah, look at that, because the conditions have been rather good at the moment. Lots going on with the sun, which is benefiting people like me. Yeah. I do like doing these figures. Even though, like we have said, they can become rather tedious, Napoleonics. But, I mean, when you see a battlefield of hand-painted Napoleonics all set up, well, it does look good, I gotta say. There you go. Braiding on the tunic done, on the shoulders done. Come on, don't let me down now. Amazing. Yeah, I am gonna get rid of this camera. That's on my bucket list. That's on my bucket list, folks. Before I die, get rid of this freaking camera. Right, what's next? Collar and turnbacks. Turnbacks are white and collar is white. I'll tell you something about the collar before I carry on. Facing colors for these is orange, which is going to be nice to do. Nice change to do a bit of orange. And the collar also will be orange. And then you've got white piping around the top of the collar. Rather than paint the collar orange, then try and add in a little bit of piping, just paint the whole collar white, then add in the facing color, almost like do it back to front. You'll find it far easier if you do it back to front. It's trying to add the piping in the white is a fiddly job, so just do the whole collar white, and it's much easier then just to block in the orange, do the orange. So we do the collar white in a minute. And the turnbacks. I now have indigestion. Oh, I tell you folks, I can get indigestion eating Rennies. I mean, it's terrible. Right, collar. Right, there's a hair on my figure which has to be removed. Which has been removed. I keep a pair of tweezers handy for just such a job, folks. This is a real challenge to do these, and I like a challenge. Yeah, so just a little dab here, just a little dab here. Normally when I'm doing this job, cover that with a bit of... Normally when I'm doing this job I have a video or something running, or CD playing, just to help things along a bit. Now under the chin on these figures, in between the front of the collar, because the collar is, it's not, can you see me here? It's not flat like that, it's sort of open like that. I know you're just about to see me doing this. It's sort of open, so you can see part of the neck here. There'll be a scarf of some kind on these figures, so we'll add that at a later date. Right, turnbacks. Done the collar, so we just add in the turnbacks. Once again, there goes my clock. Once again, don't overload the brush. It's better to have not enough paint on the brush than too much, and splodge the stuff everywhere. Where's my water? If you're wondering what this is, it's just water, pure water, not tap water, it's pure water. And I just put a drop on the palette, and I can dip my brush in it and thin the paint as I need it. Because this paint does tend to thicken a bit. Under the heat of the lights, tends to dry a bit, thicken a bit. Which is a nuisance. But can't be helped. Can't be helped. There's the turnback. There's one turn back anyway. One of the turnbacks on these jackets you can't see because it's covered by that bread bag and the water canteen. Which is nice because it makes my job as a painter much easier. Here the jet's going over. I can't understand, you know, why they fly them things all day. For what purpose? For what end? I mean, if ever there's another war, somebody's going to put their finger on a button and we'll all go bang. And that'll be the end of it. So I don't understand. But there's a lot of things I don't understand because I come from the country, you see. So I wasn't born in a city, I was born in the country, so there's a lot of things I don't understand. If nuns live in a nunnery, why don't monks live in a monkery? I mean... There you go. Starting to look the real deal now. And you can always touch little bits up as you go. There you can see those turnbacks or not. You just about see them. Yeah, really starting to look like an infantryman now. Starting to look very nice. For 1/72 scale figures, you know, these are the real deal. These are absolutely lovely. Like I say, my only real quibble with these figures is the rifles are rather bendy, but that's polythene plastic figures for you. You really can't do nothing about that. But he's nice. He's a smart looking guy now. Wait till we've highlighted all this webbing up. We look $1 million. So all we got to do now is the back. Round the blanket roll and down the back of the backpack. And there's two little straps between the backpack and the cartridge pouch. So we'll add them, and that'll be more or less this guy webbed out. Yeah, looking very nice. For 1/72 scale figure, I think that's spot on. But it's all, like I say to you folks, it's all to keep your hands steady. That's the trick of it, really, and not have your hands free floating. I mean, even the chair you're sitting on needs to be comfortable. You need to be comfortable. If you're not comfortable and you're fidgeting around, you can't paint properly. You're not going to paint for X hours if you're uncomfortable or you're fidgeting around. But I would be interested to know how other people paint, what's their techniques. See, once again, back on the palm of my hand with my pinky finger, keeping my painting hand steady. Right, now go down, don't overload your brush, put the straps down the back of the backpack. You should be able to get down with more or less with one stroke. Which I've just done. By doing one stroke you can keep them nice and straight and neat and tidy. There you go. Yeah, always interested to know how other people actually paint the miniatures. A little bit of drift on that strap, so we'll cover that with some black in a minute, just to just to touch it in. Right, so we just get a little bit of black, touch these things in as we go. There we go. There we go. Notice a little bit of black on his hand there, so we get some flesh tone in a bit. Cover that over. Right, just a couple of straps between his backpack and his cartridge pouch. Another reason for having such a small brush is you can get between the two. Here we go, there's that one. And just a little touch on that. Yeah, it's amazing how many straps that are included. Hat on these figures. Very, very good actually. See, got a little bit of white on the red there, so we'll now touch that in. Don't worry about it. You know, if you go over something and nudge something, You know, don't panic. Don't panic. And there we go. There we go. That's our guy. Come on. Oh, what's the matter with this thing? Yeah, this is going to have to go, folks. So I'll turn that off a minute. There you go. That is our guy. Completely finished, all webbed out. Like I say, all we got to do now is do the highlights. The off-white and the pure white, but we do that when we film them all ivory. So I'm not going to do that now, but that's basically my method for doing one of these 1/72 Napoleonic miniatures. It's basically the neck of it is, they're going to look really nice. The neck of it is using the right brush at a decent tip. Keeping yourself steady, which is what I showed you, which is resting up. For me, it's resting on the edge of the bench here, keeping my arm steady, and resting on the tub, a nice sized tub, resting your pinky on the side of the tub. You're really steady, you're really rock steady. Don't overload the brush with paint. Better to put too little paint on the brush than too much. And there's no reason why you shouldn't make a nice neat job of webbing even this small, 1/72. You know, it's good. They're going to look very nice. I'm very pleased with them, and hopefully this video is in in focus, unlike the last one, which was just kept going out of focus for some reason. So thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'd be interested to know how any of you out there paint, whether you use the same sort of method or whether your hands are free floating or whatever. How'd you do it? Let me know.